Holy Musical Batman was noticeably shorter. Were there a lot of storylines that you had to cut out because of that?
No, not really. When we went into doing Batman, because Batman was a show that we had been working on for a long time.
Yeah, I wanted to do it right after the first Harry Potter show. I said, the next one has to be Batman. And then, but then we didn't do Batman. We did Me and My Dick instead. And then I said, okay, now it's gotta be Batman. But then I got outvoted, and we did this Harry Potter sequel, which I thought was a bad idea. I didn't think we should do a Harry Potter sequel. We had a really difficult time with the Batman show because we always knew we wanted it to be about Batman getting Robin. We always knew we wanted it to be commenting on the Batman story and the Batman character.
Because the show is less a Batman story and more a story about Batman.
About the franchise and about the character and his history. And we just kept running into this brick wall because we had the Joker as the main villain for so long. And we just said we couldn't find a way to make it work because the Joker doesn't work in a parody. He just absolutely does not work.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Joker as a character, like you think about his entire character, and he's just a guy who tells jokes while he's a goofball while being extraordinarily violent. So that's the whole crux of his character, is that it makes the violence even worse because he's dealing with it like lightheartedly. And so it's like when it's a comedy and a parody and every single character is stupid and silly,
and you want it to be funny, so you want to take out that violence and the violent weight of the characters.
The Joker just doesn't work. He just becomes obsolete.
It's like
how do you do a play off of a funny character?
It's like you take away both of his things, because no longer is he the funny character, because every character is funny. And then you say no longer is he the most violent character, because you have to get rid of the violence.
Yeah, or say the violence can't have actual weight behind it. Like Batman shoots and kills people, but we say it's a joke. You know, so we just didn't know how to do them. We were like, okay, do you have a joke where the Joker's not funny?
Yeah,
and you go, well, the Joker isn't really funny, is he? He just kills people.
Yeah, it eventually became that our joke for the Joker was that he wasn't funny. And then we said probably the least funny joke is that a guy isn't funny.
We were like, oh, we don't know how to do this. And then we just said, we were complaining about the Joker for so long, and we just said the only thing that's interesting to do with the Joker is just kill him, just have him be dead. So we said, yeah, let's just have him be dead.
In the first scene, he's dead.
So that's what we did.
And then we always had the joke of Sweet Tooth, it being like the scene where all the rogues are talking to each other, and Superman talks about it, how all of the Batman villains are just a guy in a different colored suit who makes puns based off of a theme, which is pretty true for all of the Batman villains.
Yeah, it's weird because if you guys have ever seen The Dark Knight, the first scene that the Joker is in, if you look at what Sweet Tooth does in the first villain scenes, it's exactly the same as what the Joker does. There's a table with a ton of gangsters sitting around it, and the gangsters are saying, what are we going to do about Batman? And not a single one says, let's kill him. They just, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then the Joker walks in, and the Joker's first line in the movie is, I thought my jokes were bad. So he enters on a pun.
Yeah.
Then he says, I say we kill Batman. And then all the gangsters go, oh, whoa, you must be really smart. Cool. So it's the exact same thing.
Yeah. So we had the joke about Sweet Tooth that he was one step stupider than all of the other villains. he was a guy
He's just a little bit stupider.
Like, you buy him being a real villain, but he's a little bit stupider than the other ones. So we eventually just said, let's just make Sweet Tooth the main villain, because he was our favorite one, and said, we'll just make Sweet Tooth the main one. And we thought that we made Sweet Tooth up. It turns out that there is a Batman villain named Sweet Tooth that was different than our Batman Sweet Tooth, because we didn't know he existed until after we wrote the show.
Yeah.
But he is a guy that is a candy-themed guy, only he's like a very overweight man in a purple sweatsuit with a sailor hat on.
Yeah, that has kids working for him, and he
holds the city's water supply hostage because he turns it into chocolate. And then they beat him by shooting him with a cannon that shoots out bubble gum.
Yeah. So we only found out this existed after we'd written the show and went, oh, wow.
I guess we were so mad, too. Because
we were really mad.
We thought we were clever that we made up Sweet Tooth.
But they already did.
They already did. So
that was the only big thing that got cut from Batman was
the Joker.
The Joker.
And then once the Joker got cut, everything sort of clicked into place. And we did make a conscious effort to make this one shorter.
And the other thing is, a lot of people complain about the Joker not being in it. But if you sit back and you think about it, and you think about the Joker, like, just actually try to visualize the Joker, somebody in costume, dressed up like the Joker, doing an impression of the Joker, singing and dancing. And once you actually visualize it, you say, that's the stupidest thing ever. That should never happen. It should never be put on stage.
Yeah.
And
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's who was cut, the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the scenes you've ever written, which one is your favorite and why?
Out of all the scenes we've ever written? I don't know. There are some funny scenes. There's some good scenes. I like the scenes in Batman, in the Batman show. I like the villain scene when they're all talking in puns. I don't know. It's hard to pick a specific scene because a scene is just one little piece in a bigger thing. So yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.